A cupcake with bright frosting appears against a white background. It hops forward and gasps as it discovers 3 muffin pans that exactly look like braille cells. 7 more brightly colored cupcakes appear. At the whistled command of the original cupcake, hop into the various muffin holes to form the braille letters TBK. The muffin tins are replaced by the Blind Kitchen logo, green braille letters TBK on a white background. Fade to black.
Hello, and welcome to the Blind Kitchen, where everyone gets a seat at the table. I'm your host, Deborah Erickson, and in this episode, we're going to talk about the short wood tongs. You've probably seen short wood tongs in your lifetime. They're usually 6 or 7 inches long, and they're made of wood, and they pinch together so that you can pick up a tea bag out of a hot cup of tea, or maybe a piece of floating food. They could also be used for flipping food in a pan or on a platter. But that is not the reason the Blind Kitchen has chosen this particular tool. There are better, more blind-friendly tools to do those tasks I just mentioned. What these do exclusively for the Blind Kitchen is to allow you to safely reach into the toaster with the tong to get that elusive piece of bread that stays stuck in the toaster even after it pops up. They are made of wood, so there's no danger in you becoming electrocuted should you happen to touch the electrical part of the toaster, which it's easy to do if you can't see what you're doing. But you can just put these in, your fingers are close to the action where the food is, and you can find that elusive piece of bread and pull it up. I just love an English muffin and a glass of orange juice for breakfast in the morning. And I happen to have a plate here that has an English muffin cut open on it. It's a whole wheat English muffin. And I'm going to bring one of the pieces over to my 2-slot toaster and drop it into the toaster. I'm going to pull the second one over now and drop it into the toaster. And now I'm going to push down the handle. And I'm going to do what I always do, is I wave my fingers a couple inches above the 2 slots just to make sure I've actually pushed it down and to make sure heat is coming from both sides. And everything seems like it's fine. Now, in a perfect world, those English muffins will pop up. They'll be high enough that I can grab them with my fingertips and be able to take that out. But sometimes, depending on what you're cooking and the size of the bread, or how thin the bread is. So like a Pop-Tart will often slide off the rack and it could stick to the side. And so even though when the toast pops up, the Pop-Tart isn't going to. Or perhaps the bread is too short. It's just a smaller piece of bread and there's no way to get your fingers in there without burning your fingers. I'm going to show you how I handle that. But first I'm going to give you a secret tip. Okay, now it's popped up. A lot of people don't know this, and I just learned it recently, is if you take the handle of the toaster, after it's popped up, it'll actually come up another inch or so, and it'll raise the bread an inch or so. So I can safely get this piece of bread out with my fingers, and I'm going to take one of them out. But the other one is really, I'm going to push it back down a little bit. So the other one is really close to too low for me to grab with my fingers, and I don't want to burn my fingers. And why should I if I have this handy little toaster tong tool? Say that 3 times. So I'm going to actually make sure I put it into that slot. The toaster is hot, so I'm being very careful, but I'm not afraid of being electrocuted because the tongs are made of wood and they can't conduct electricity. So I pulled it out of the toaster with the tongs, put it next to its buddy over here on the plate, and I am good to go. Caring for your wooden tongs is easy. There's certainly a divide in the cooking community as to whether they should be washed in a dishwasher or only washed by hand, and I'm not even going there. The important thing is that once they are clean, is that you be able to find them when you go to retrieve them. I keep mine stored near the toaster. That way I've got them right handy when I need them. So I hope you have a lot of good breakfasts, and I hope you have a lot of toast. And I hope you never have to use the tongs to get it out. But should you need it, it is going to become your very favorite tool, at least for that moment. So I'm going to get ready to enjoy my breakfast now. So until next time, happy cooking.
She smiles towards the camera. Fade to black. Blind Kitchen logo appears. Fade to black. Neo Creative Productions logo appears. The logo fades to black.